Welcome back, guys. So today I'm going to talk about some common mistakes people make with aquarium plants. So I'm going to talk about the general requirements and maintenance of plants rather than focus on a specific plant. So if you want to start a planted tank or have a newly established tank, I recommend watching this video. The first mistake that people make while starting a planted tank is not understanding the nitrogen cycle and the form of nitrogen that plants need. In short, plants thrive off of nitrates, but you want to have a balanced amount because nitrates are toxic to fish. To hear a more in-depth description of the nitrogen cycle, click the suggestion bar in the top right of the screen. What many people do while keeping plants in an aquarium is try it without fish. This is generally a lot harder and not as effective because fish produce the ammonia, which is converted by bacteria into the nitrate that plants use. So, in other words, fish create the food for plants. So, to start off, I recommend understanding the nitrogen cycle before keeping any plants, or a fish tank in general for that matter. Then, I recommend keeping the plants with fish. A good fish to start keeping plants with is live bearers or small tetras. Some live bearers include guppies, platies, swordtails, mollies, and things like that. You can work your way up to larger fish once you become more experienced. If anyone even does the smallest amount of research, they would understand that nitrogen is essential for plants. But what many people look over is the other nutrients. The other macronutrients that plants require to live include phosphorus and potassium. Nitrogen provides the green coloration and structure for a plant. Phosphorus and potassium also help the plant structure and root systems. If you have a reddish plant, you're going to need a lot of iron. The iron promotes the red color. If your plant is not red, it will still need iron, but in smaller quantities. Out of all of these, the most overlooked plant nutrient is phosphorus. This is overlooked because fish do not replenish phosphorus supplies, and the only way to get more is by adding it in with additional chemicals or water changes. Iron is the same way, but since you generally need a smaller quantity, it isn't that big of a problem. Outside of nutrients, another big mistake is surface agitation. In almost all of my videos, I talk about how it is important to have the surface movement in your tank because it replenishes oxygen and gets rid of carbon dioxide that harms your fish. With plants, you do not need surface agitation. Plants use the CO2 and will have an output of oxygen. If you have too much surface movement, the plant will be deprived of CO2 and actually can die off. In addition to CO2 and nutrients, lighting is a huge factor to take into account. What I recommend for beginner plant keepers is to keep plants with the same light requirements in the tank. This will make it easier to watch over your plants and keep things consistent. I also recommend low light plants because it's a much bigger investment for high light plants, and they generally are less hardy. Some plants that I recommend to start off with include Anubias, Java Fern, and Java Moss. The best part about these three plants is that they are all very different looking and they do not require substrate, which is a big topic for another video. They can simply be fastened onto a rock, piece of driftwood, or decoration with clear fishing line. Be careful to not break the roots, and the fishing line will be covered up in a month or so after growth, so you don't really need to worry about it looking bad. And that will conclude my tips for keeping aquarium plants. Now it is time for the fun facts. Fun fact number 1. KELP is one of the fastest growing plants on Earth. In ideal parameters, it can grow about 2 feet per day. That is about 0.000016 miles per hour. Fun fact number 2. The world's largest aquarium is found in Atlanta, Georgia, with 6.3 million gallons. Fun fact number 3. There are about 300 different species of octopus discovered to date. Are there any other plant tips or common mistakes that I missed? Please let me know in the comments below. To stay up to date with my channel and to make sure you do not miss any of my future content, please subscribe by clicking the circle in the center of the screen or the subscribe button below. I picked a few videos out that I think you will enjoy, so click on one of the boxes to watch it. As always, I hope you enjoyed and learned something new. Thanks for watching.